Welcome, my name is Colleen Tauke and I'm a sewing specialist here at Fonz & Porter. In this Quilting Quickly tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the blocks for the quilt called Howdy. If you would like to purchase this pattern, please visit our website. We're using 2.5-inch pre-cut strips, and then we're going to add in a white neutral and an accent of this green fun plaid that sets off the quilt and all those various little squares that go into it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use those 2.5 pre-cut strips, and we're going to make strip sets. So in order to get the variety so that the colors don't always come up in the exact same position, you take those 2.5-inch pre-cut strips and cut them in half, so they're half length, 21 inches approximately in length. And then you're going to bring together 5 different prints and make strip sets and follow the pattern for the number of combinations like this you need to make. And then I've got 2 different combinations here. Make sure that you take time to press your seam allowances as you go. The old adage that Marianne and Liz used to always say was to make twosies first. So bring 2 strips together, then 2 more strips. Make sure you press as you go. Then join the twosies together to make a foursy, and then add that last one if you're with an odd number. It's a lot easier to press if you're working just with one seam at a time than to join all 5 strips and then have to try to get in with the iron to make those seam allowances lay to one side. So the trick, 2s, then into 4, and then add the last. Then when you get to the point where you've made all your strip sets, more than likely the ends will look a little bit more like this, a little more uneven, because no matter what you do, each fabric is usually just a little bit different in width. And then what you can do to cut the 2.5-inch wide units off that you need for your block, I'm going to just offset my pieces just a little. You can see here about 1/4 inch or so, and so that the seam allowances won't ride right on top of each other but be offset. And then I can take a ruler and come in and cut off the units that I need and cut through multiple layers at one time. Now if you're new to quilting and this makes you nervous, just cut through 1 layer at a time, just do 1 strip set. Once you get your confidence up, then you can do multiple layers. But we're going to be cutting the 2.5-inch wide strip. Make sure that you're on all the way away from those selvage edges there, so maybe it'll be almost a 3-inch cut at the very beginning. Cut down through. Take this piece and rotate it around so we can clean up that edge. Take off all the selvages. Make sure that you peek underneath to make sure, see there was one a little shorter, but I'm going to be able to take all of it off at this cut, that you don't end up with a selvage, the print in your strip unit. Like that. And I have pieces ready to go for my block. And then just keep going down the strip set in the same manner, cutting 2.5-inch units. Set those aside. Then we need to create the middle portion of our block here, and that is made with 2.5-inch wide strips of the white, the accent color, and another white like this. Again, join 2 strips together first, press that seam allowance in one direction, and then add the 3rd strip. That way you'll keep it nice and straight and have it well pressed. I've got one already prepared like this. And most of the time we're talking about, when we talk about pressing, we're usually pressing toward the darker of the fabrics. So in this case, the seam allowances are pressed toward the center. Then, once you have your strips set all ready to go, you need to cut a 10.5-inch unit. So you need a longer ruler. You could use a 8x14 also, but in this case, we're going to use we're going to do 10.5-inch cut. So 10.5 here. Also be kind of looking to line up one of the lines on your ruler with the ditch or where the 2 fabrics join together to make sure you have a nice straight piece. And you cut off your 10.5-inch increments off of this strip set. This would be a great project to use holiday prints or seasonal baby prints. even flannels might work for it. Then you're going to take those and you're going to add a strip set to each side, like this. And a simple sewing here, 1/4 inch seam, and press the seam allowances. In this case, since these are dark, but trying to press the seam allowances toward those would be really tough. You can see here they're pressed toward the white because you have all these adjoining seams here that would, sometimes we press to the direction of least resistance, which in this case would be towards the white. Now, once you get all the blocks created, then it's just a simple tilting blocks, either horizontal or vertical, throughout the quilt top. And there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks high, and 2, 4, 5. So make a square. Then we add a white border to let those blocks kind of have a place to rest, and then go back with the green for the accent for your binding. And you've created your version of Howdy. If you'd like to see more of our Quilting Quickly tutorials, please visit our website. Thanks for joining me today.